Hey everybody, HomeSliceHenry here, and welcome back to some more Great League Spice. And in today's video, we are cranking the Spiceometer up to 11. We are using what might honestly be my spiciest pick yet, Shelgon in the Great League. Shelgon is a pure dragon type and has access to Dragon Breath, Dragon Pulse, and Flamethrower, so the moveset isn't the best. It doesn't have a good bait move, but Stab Dragon Breath can really add up. And I paired it with the Empoleon Altaria core, and even though I was in the 2650s, it honestly worked pretty well. I was able to win as many games as I lost, and considering I was running Spice, I am super happy with that. And let's hop in and take a look and see how the team did. Game number 1, leading Empoleon into Galarian Stunfisk. This is a pretty good matchup for Empoleon so long as I can correctly shield the Earthquakes. I'm going to be going straight Hydro Cannon, and we're almost assuredly going to be getting a shield from the Stunfisk, as Hydro Cannon will be doing huge damage. We get a shield, and they fire a charge move back. I'm worried about the Earthquake, so I decide to shield it up, and they bait me. This is really rough, so I'm going to farm up 3 and catch the Earthquake onto my Altaria. And they did a really nice bait to swing the game in their favor, but by catching the Earthquake, I'm able to swing the game back in my favor, and they bring out a Talonflame. If Talonflame is their best dragon answer, then I'm in a really good spot. We land the Sky Attack, and we just need to shield up the Brave Bird. And then I aggressively swap into Empoleon and farm them down. They bring out a Shadow Machamp, which is really rough. They are going to be able to farm down my Empoleon. They shield up the Drill Peck, of course, and then they farm down, and they used 5 counters to farm me down. It's 7 to a Rock Slide, so I'll need to bring in Altaria, count 2 counters, and then swap into Shelgon. 6, 7, swap. We're able to catch the Rock Slide on Shelgon where it's neutral instead of super effective on Altaria. Stunfisk comes back in, but the Dragon Breath is very oppressive and forces him to empty his energy. And him doing so allows me to win this game because I'm going to be able to come in with Altaria, farm down the Stunfisk, and then outpace the Machamp to a Sky Attack, and we're able to take the win. So in the first game, Shelgon honestly didn't get much of a chance to shine, but I was just really proud of those catches I was able to do, so I wanted to feature that battle first. Hopping into the second one, Empoleon into Unova Stunfisk. Now this is a worse matchup, so we're going to try and catch a move on Shelgon. No such luck, but we bait out a Skarmory. This is actually a good matchup for Shelgon because Flamethrower hits like an absolute truck. We land the Flamethrower. I'm a little worried about a potential Brave Bird, so I do decide to shield it up. It is just a Sky Attack. He wasn't quite there, and we're able to farm down and flip switch. He brings out an Umbreon, and at this point, thanks to Shelgon flipping switch, we are going to be able to win this game because we're going to be able to line up that Unova Stunfisk with our Altaria, which is a way better matchup for us. And we land the Dragon Pulse, and look how much damage that did to a tanky Umbreon. Oh my goodness. Shelgon 2 OP, please nerf. Shelgon able to get it super low. We're able to come in with Altaria and catch a Mud Bomb intended for our Empoleon, and now we're in a really good spot. We are just going to basically commit to the farm down. These battles were done when the 30-second switch timer was out, so they're just trying to spam out as many charge moves as possible to reset that timer so they can switch back into the Umbreon. And I believe their timer should be up here. So they switch out. Ooh, very nice job. I wasn't fast enough to catch the move, so I shielded up. I'm going to come back in with Empoleon and fully farm down. They're going to be able to get to one more move, but I can survive that move. And since they have 2 shields, at this point, I'm thinking I may as well just commit to the farm down, so that way they end up dying with 2 shields. They come in with energy, and the Mud Bomb does take me out, but I'm able to come in with Altaria, Dragon Breath down, and take the win. So a win for the good guys. Let's go. Spice beating Sweat. Alright, Galvantula lead, absolutely horrible lead. We're going to safe swap into Shelgon, and we're met by an Azumarill. This is a really terrible matchup for Shelgon as both of our charge moves are going to be resisted. We let the first one through, it's an Ice Beam, and I'm actually going to go for Flamethrower here. The reason being, Azumarill may think they can bubble me down, but since I'm a dragon type, it's resisted. They're going to have a really tough time bubbling me down. And as you can see, the Dragon Breath damage adds up, and by going Flamethrower, I can get to 2. And even though this Azumarill is going to be absolutely loaded on energy, I can bring in my Empoleon, and Empoleon resists all of Azumarill's charge moves. So I'm going to be able to farm down Azumarill and basically use Empoleon's health as a damage sponge for all of Azumarill's energy. They throw a second play rough here. That does get me low. I'm going to try and farm down. And they get to, that's 5. That's just an Ice Beam. I should be able to survive it. It's non-stab. And we're just able to survive it, and we farm down. Galvantula will be returning, so I go straight for the Hydro Cannon, and this will be doing a lot of damage if it's not shielded. It's not shielded, and I swap into my Altaria, and they bring out a Politoed, and this is really, really rough. This is not a good matchup for me. I have to call the bait. I call it, and it's a Weather Ball. Oh my goodness, huge call. And I'm able to go for the Sky Attack and get a shield. I had to call the bait there. I overfarm, and then I swap, and I'm able to catch another charge move onto Empoleon, so saving the 1 HP Empoleon, I'm able to catch a Weather Ball. They come back in with the Galvantula. That gets farmed down. I have 2 shields, so now I can finally start shielding up some charge moves. It doesn't matter if they're Weather Balls at this point, because I have a big energy lead and shield advantage, so I am going to be able to clutch out this game. So even with an absolutely horrible lead and hard countered on the save swap, we are still able to clutch it out by calling a bait and doing a very nice sack swap. Let's go! Hopping into the next game here, another Galarian Stunfisk. They actually switch out into Sableye, and I'm going to counter swap into my Altaria. They're probably just going to be going straight for the return, because that does maximum damage, and that's honestly fine. And what they're probably going to do is shield once and try and farm down. So I'm going to go for the Sky Attack, because if I go for the Sky Attack, maybe I can threaten them into throwing, which I do. Okay. This is honestly okay. I'll take this. I can come back in with the Empoleon, farm down, and have loaded energy plus a shield advantage. And we leave with close to a move, brings out a Medicham. We're going to go straight for the Drill Peck before we do bring out the Shelgon. It's Shelgon time. Let's go. We have to shield up the Ice Punch. Ice Punch would absolutely hurt. And they bring out the Galarian Stunfisk. Does he know about Flamethrower? I don't think he knows about Flamethrower. Flamethrower connects, does huge damage, and I switch into the Empoleon, and we're able to do a lot of damage there. And they Rock Slide bait me. I call the bait. They come back in with Medicham, and then the game freezes, and they get like 2 free counters, and they're able to get to an Ice Punch. I'm like, oh no, Niantic just screwed me. But Shelgon cannot be denied. Farms down the Medicham, farms down the Galarian Stunfisk. Shelgon don't care about your lag. Shelgon is here to take prisoners. A Meganium lead, terrible lead. I swap into Shelgon, met with an Azumarill. I'm going to be going for the same game plan as before. I let the Ice Beam through, and if they try and farm down, then I am going to be going for the 2 Flamethrowers to get it low. Unfortunately, I'm not going to be able to flip switch here, so that's my main goal, is just to get it low and then to tank energy onto my Empoleon. My main hope is that they don't have Hydro Pump. If they have Ice Beam Play Rough like the last one, I should be in a good spot, and they actually shield, a very interesting play there. I come back in with the Empoleon. Moment of truth, what do they have? Hydro Pump. This is really, really rough. And here, I actually make a mistake that cost me the game. What I should do here is shield the Hydro Pump, farm down, and have 2 Drill Pecks for Meganium. But I actually decide to take shield advantage and to try and win with Hypno. And try and win with Altaria. But they have a Hypno in the back. So this is just going to be a bit too much for me to be able to handle with just one Altaria. So I did want to include this battle as well, because I felt like it's a battle that I may have been able to win, but unfortunately I just misplayed it. I was hoping that they were baiting, and they went for back-to-back Hydro Pumps that took out my Empoleon, and I was in a lot of trouble, and I'm not able to farm down the Azumarill, and they are going to be able to get to the Ice Beam that takes me out. So a very close game, but unfortunately a miscalculation on my part did end up causing my defeat. Alright, hopping into the next match here, picking up another lead versus a Galarian Stunfisk. And they're staying in. Hey, this honestly works for me if they stay in, so long as they don't bait. If they bait, that's where things get a little dicey, but so long as they don't bait, we're in a pretty good spot. We are going to match shields, of course. And they bait, oh no. And they actually go into Pelipper, and I go into Shelgon, and this is a big mistake by me. Again, I try and call the bait and it's a Hurricane. I should have gone straight into Altaria. What I was reading is it's probably a grass type in back, so I wanted to save Altaria for the grass type, but I lost switch advantage, so now the grass type is going to be lined up against my Empoleon. So again, another misplay that is going to end up costing me this game. Because as we see momentarily, what do they have in back for me? A Meganium. Boy, it'd be really nice to have that lined up against Shelgon, but we don't. Because we misplayed it, so unfortunately, that's one reason why I do typically like to play teams I'm more familiar with, because I have a better understanding of the matchups. But I did want to include a couple battles where I felt they were very winnable, but unfortunately just misplays by me, misreads of the team, or just straight up mistakes did end up costing me the win, unfortunately. Able to get to a Drill Peck versus the Meganium, but this Drill Peck won't do nearly enough to that Meganium. And they still have a shield left, so yeah. And they still have a very healthy Galarian Stunfisk. So there is not a world in which I'm winning this match, unfortunately. I had to farm down, and Stunfisk does get to a move. And that Rock Slide is going to be enough to take me out. So a good game to my opponent. Unfortunately, couldn't quite pull that one off. Alright, and hopping into the final game here, Empoleon into another Galarian Stunfisk. Boy, people are really using a lot of fun spice this season. Look at all these spicy Stunfisk. Alright, going straight for the Hydro Cannon. This will probably get a shield. And they actually overfarm, and I'm going to shield this up. And it's the Earthquake. Okay. This is good. They bring out Deoxys, and I go into a Shelgon. And look at that Dragon Breath damage adding up on the incredibly tanky defense Deoxys. They go for a Thunderbolt. Sir, I'm a dragon. Don't Thunderbolt me. I am a dragon. What are you doing? And look at the Dragon Pulse damage. Shelgon, dude. And we shield up the Psycho Boost so we can farm down and keep switch advantage. And from here, we should be in a pretty good spot. They are going to bring back the Stunfisk. They decide to throw, which is a shame. I was hoping they were going to try and farm me down so I could flamethrower them. No such luck. I bring back in the Empoleon. They have Tropius, and I have Altaria. So at this point, things are looking really, really good for us. We don't have shields, but we don't really need shields. We can overfarm a little bit and then go for a Sky Attack. Let's see if they do decide to commit a shield. They decide to commit a shield, so they're probably going to try and switch out here if they're trying to preserve health on the Tropius. They go for the Aerial Ace, and I'm overfarming by a bit, and then I wait until they're part of the way through their fast move animation so they can't switch out, and that's going to take them out. We switch back into the Empoleon, and they concede the match. So all in all, I did end up playing 10 games with this team. I went 5-5 with 2 games where I felt like the team didn't let me down, but rather just my misplays ended up letting me down. But all in all, I had a ton of fun running Shelgon. And yeah, it's a Pokemon that it's definitely like fringe spice, but goes to show that with a good core like Empoleon Altaria, you can win with spice. Anyways, thank you guys so much for watching. If you enjoyed the video, make sure to leave a like on the video and subscribe to the channel. And a special thank you to our members here on YouTube. You guys' continued support is absolutely amazing. So thank you guys so very much, and I will see you in the next one.